Good morning. This video discussing with the differentiation between CISC versus RISC architectures. This is the important aspect of computer organization. In this video, two topics I would like to discuss. One is the CISC versus RISC. Another one is multiprocessor versus multi-computer. Okay, first I will say about CISC processor. CISC abbreviation is Complex Instruction Set Computer. As its name implies, CISC means it contains a complex instruction set. With respect to computer, computer has a processor, and a processor, every processor or a microprocessor has instruction set, its own instruction set. According to that designated instruction set, the performance of a processor depends. There are so many processors are there: 8085 microprocessor, 86, and 186, 286, 386, Pentium, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, Pentium 4, Itanium 1, Itanium 2, Itanium 3, Itanium 4, like that. So many processors are there. Even processors are there, their performance based upon their instruction set. So instruction set contains a number of instructions. That may be few instructions or many instructions. If it has many instructions, that computer can perform more operations. If it has a few instructions, it can do few operations, but by using that few basic operations, we can program other advanced operations. So in this scenario, CISC architecture versus RISC architecture we will discuss. CISC is a complex instruction set computer. Here, instruction set of CISC computer or CISC processor is a large and complex one. That is the first point. And the second point of CISC is, so as it is a large instructions, it can perform many operations. Whatever operation you want to perform, there is a separate instruction is available in CISC computer. And CISC instruction is a large instruction. CISC instruction is large instruction because it uses complex addressing modes, complex instruction formats. So the instruction size is also large. And CISC instruction set operations are almost all operations are memory reference operations. Here I would like to know operations are two types: register reference and memory reference. Memory reference operations are expensive because the data and instruction loaded in memory that has to be brought into the processor and process. So accessing memory is expensive aspect for the computer. If it's already in the register, registers are within the CPU only, so accessing registers are easy. So registers are faster memory devices than the memory devices. So CISC operations are all are memory operations, so that will take more time to execute. And another important aspect of CISC computer is even though it has so many operations, it can perform so many operations, its architecture is difficult to know because even thousands of instructions are available where only 5% instructions are many people frequently used. And some 10% will be moderately used. And another 10% may be rarely used. And almost 40 to 50% instructions are never used. That is the one disadvantage. And as technology is developed due to VLSI technology, ULSI technology, ultra large scale integration technology, nowadays processors provide with more and more instructions. The earlier days of computer systems, it is architecture due to number of instructions. As number of instructions in the instruction set is increasing, the cost of the processor is increasing. That's why there is a limited. But technology is developing nowadays. So many operations at affordable cost it is available. Nowadays, all the CISC computers are available to the students and to the public at affordable states. So the example for CISC computer is our Pentium is Intel processors are CISC computers, Intel Corporation processors are example for CISC computers, and the Pentium is example for CISC. So Italian is also CISC. And coming to a RISC computer. Earlier days, a RISC computer dominates the computer architecture. RISC abbreviation is a reduced instruction set computer. Why it was reduced instruction set? Because of economy only. So in the 1980s, it was used widely. So RISC computer instruction set contains less number of instructions compared to the CISC computer. That is the first difference with the CISC. Another thing is the number of instructions in the instruction set in RISC is not only less, the size of the instructions is also very less. Okay, the size of the CISC instruction is large and size of the RISC instruction is less. And another important thing is the RISC operations are almost register operations. So register operations are fast operations, whereas CISC operations are memory operations. And RISC operation example is load and store instructions. Load and store instructions are example for RISC instructions, whereas memory instructions are example for CISC instructions. So move data and read data or write data with the memory location is example for CISC instructions, and only load and store are register operations or simple operations. And another feature of RISC computer is it uses simple addressing modes. So direct addressing mode, immediate addressing mode, implicit addressing mode, register addressing modes. The simple addressing modes used by the RISC computer, whereas the CISC computers uses complex addressing mode, displacement addressing modes, index addressing modes, relative addressing modes, register based addressing modes will be used. So RISC computer example is PowerPC, Motorola Corporation, PowerPC. Why it is called as PowerPC? When it has the less number of instructions, it is able to perform operations equal to the CISC computer. So the difference between the RISC versus CISC in the olden days, now technological development, the line between RISC versus CISC is very less, because in the small chip there is a millions of hardware elements are integrated together, and that is affordable to the people. That's why nowadays the gap between RISC and CISC is very less. The RISC computer is also able to provide more instructions, but as an architectural difference, you should know the difference between RISC versus CISC. And another important concept is multiprocessor and multi-computer. What is a multiprocessor? What is a multi-computer? This multiprocessor, multi-computer differentiation is done based